Here is picture again of a large colossal titan, brothers and sisters. We hope you like it. He is big, kind of ugly son of a bitch, but you know, if you like it, find out to see more. Follow me on all the social networks.
Attack on Titan, Episode 7, The Tiny Blade.
Well, hello, my brothers and sisters of the Nerd Nation. I, as always, am Jim, here to bring you another review on the gruesome and gory tale of Attack on Titan. I almost said One Piece there because I'm so used to doing those. I've done so many of those reviews. Our last episode was, in my opinion, very good because it showed us our background into Mikasa and her and Eren's relationship, how they became so close, and how, you know, basically the theme was pretty much that it was a very cruel world, but it was also him trying to instill in her to, you know, always fight back, always fight against whatever it is that's holding you down. So the episode left off with Mikasa being, you know, ordered to climb the wall and retreat with the rear guard, and she says, no, I'm going to go help the others, and just takes off. So that's kind of where we left off. Things pick up, though, with you know, with basically the supply depot being overrun. They show some of our characters kind of standing around, and they're low on gas, so they can't retreat and climb the walls. And basically the supply teams that are to try to get to them to supply them with more gas for their maneuver gear, those supply teams are pretty much cowering and trapped inside of the you know, the resupply, the supply depot. They show us a quick flash inside. There were some characters that we don't know, kind of some no-name characters, and there's a captain that's basically saying we have to hold this area, we have to this, we have to that. And, you know, and there's kind of some dissension amongst the ranks, you know, saying, hey, you know, shouldn't we just leave? I mean, the Titans are going to overrun, they're going to kill us, the city is lost. And he basically pulls out his sword and, you know, says, listen, don't make me deem you and anybody else that goes with you a traitor. So he's pretty much telling, you know, shut up and man up over here, even though it's a female that says this. So at any rate, you get the idea. It then goes and shows us one of the supply depot, one of the upper floors, it looks like, because there's a larger Titan that's kind of looming in, looking in through the window, and there's a few, you know, a few of these the recruits, or, you know, part of the whatever you want to call them, the military, that are sitting there, and you assume that they're part of the supply team, and they're kind of, you know, cowering behind, you know, like a desk or whatever, hiding behind this half wall type deal. And so this is why I wanted to point this out, is that, you know, somebody goes in, the things that happen in war and what makes you think things are hopeless. One of the recruits, or whatever these people are, these trainees, what have you, you know, goes and he's finished going and kind of shoving the bullet into his gun, into his shotgun or whatever, you know, he's done loading, and he's like, oh, there. And somebody's like, well, what good's that going to do? And he turns the gun and puts it in his mouth and blows his brains out. And I was just like, wow, really? You're just going to give up that easily, dude? But, you know, at the same time, I guess it's hard to say that, I mean, I wouldn't do something like that in that situation. You're surrounded by these Titans. You don't want to be eaten by one while you're still half alive, or alive and tortured, right? So maybe for some people that's the easiest way out. So I just thought it was worth bringing up real quick, but I am going to try to keep this one a little bit shorter, as well as the ones in the future, because yeah, I do get a little too long-winded on these episodes. They're just so exciting, though. so then it goes and it takes us back out to the trainees over here, or not the trainees, but you know, basically all of your guys, you know, your Connie, Jean, all of those, Armin, and they're pretty much all sitting around going, woe is me, it's hopeless, we don't have enough gas to get out of here, we don't have enough gas to fight the Titans, there's nothing we can do, blah, blah, blah. Mikasa comes, you know, flying in over there, and we all know that she's a bad mamma jamma, you know, she's a Titan killer if there ever was one. But she comes in and asks, you know, hey, where is Eren? You know, she asks Annie, and Annie says, I don't know about the 34th, you know, that go ask Armin, you know. So she goes over by Armin, and Armin's freaking because he doesn't want to have to tell her, you know, obviously they were all friends and everything. And finally, after she, you know, prods him a little bit about it, he comes out with it, you know, and he's basically just like, everyone's dead, and he rattles off everybody's name that was in that, you know, in that group. And, you know, and then, of course, Eren's is the last one, and he says, you know, he died saving me, you know, for protecting me or helping me, and there's nothing I could do. So basically, Mikasa acts like nothing's wrong, like nothing's bothering her, and she's just like, you know what? She tells Armin it's okay, this isn't the time to be emotional. And then she's like, well, you know, I'm going to go and I'm going to kill all the Titans around the supply depot, or die trying, and go, you know, restock on gas, and then be able to climb the walls, right? And everybody's like, what are you talking about? And she basically goes and, like, she uses like an an anti, you know, hype you up type of speech, an anti-inspirational speech. She pretty much just calls everybody out and is like, you know what? You're an idiot. You're a moron. You know, you're weak. You're this. You know, and she basically is, and she doesn't say exactly that, but what she's getting at is that basically, you know, go ahead. You know, you guys want to choose to sit here and die? That's fine. I may die, but I'm going to die at least trying to do something. So she goes shooting off, you know, and then everybody kind of one by one starts following after her, you know, Gene and Connie, and everybody kind of starts getting their shit together, and it's just kind of where everybody, it's a bunch of young kids, man, you know, but it's where everybody kind of muscles up, you know, and this is kind of where, you know, you just sort of, you use the adrenaline that you got going, and you don't really think too much about what you're doing, but ultimately, you know, they make the choice of at least trying to fight and live as opposed to just sitting there and dying. I mean, maybe you die, maybe you don't, but at least you know you tried. So they kind of all go in, but they're of course behind Mikasa, and in some really cool action sequences over the course of the next minute or two, we get to see Mikasa going just flying through the air, and just how much of a badass that she is, because she goes and takes down like 2 or 3 Titans like it's nothing, you know. Now Armin is getting close to her, he's gaining on her, and he's basically like, you know, I know she's running low on gas, and he's watching her, he's like, she's burning up too much gas, you know. She acted like everything was fine, but basically this is how she's taking out her emotions from finding out that Aaron's dead, right? Is just going balls to the wall on these Titans, you know? And but she's burning up way too much gas, and he's like, and basically if you have no gas, doesn't matter how good you are, you cannot maneuver around these things. They're too fast or too strong, right? So lo and behold, right after, you know, the next one that she winds up taking out, shortly thereafter, her gas completely runs out, and she goes, you know, flying and tumbling on a roof, and falls down onto a lower part of a roof, and then down into an alleyway. And Armin sees this, and he's not very far away. And I don't understand the whole next few minutes how it transpired, because Armin breaks off and he's going to go for her, right? Then you see Gene and Connie, and Gene's like, I'll go get her. And then Connie's like, no, you know, I'll go get her. You're too valuable of a fighter. And even though Gene's pissed off about it, you know, basically he'd be like the next in command. He's like the next best or whatever, right? So Gene keeps on going on with everybody towards the supply depot. And then we go and we see Mikasa. Now, this is where I'm confused, because they were only like, I mean, they were a visual distance away from her, right? And they don't wind up appearing for like the next 5 minutes, okay? And I don't care if you try to slow down time and everything else. This all happens over the course of a few minutes. So Mikasa's basically sitting there, and she's, you know, of course, fallen. She's now sitting there. She's got a broken sword. She's got no gas left, so she's screwed. And a Titan comes around the corner, you know, boom, boom, boom. And these things just look really goofy, to tell you the truth. They don't really look terrifying, even though they are, but it's just the way that they have, like, there's like no expression really on their face, not of anger, not of pity, not of, you know, sadness, happiness. They're just there. They're just like these moving mobile dolls that eat people. They're really weird. So it comes around the corner, and Mikasa starts, you know, basically having these flashbacks of, you know, Eren telling her to fight, and she's just like, and then basically she's just thinking, like, I'm just going to give up, you know. That's what she tells herself she's going to do. So as the Titan goes to reach for her and grab her, she takes this stub of a sword, you know, that she has, this broken off, shortened sword or whatever, and she goes and she nails it, and cuts off a piece of its hand, and then kind of jumps out of the way. It winds up nailing her and bashing her with its other hand, and bashes her against the, you know, the back of the alleyway wall or whatever. And she basically keeps dodging this thing, even though she's getting hit and beat up, instead of just, you know, succumbing to, you know, listen, that's it, I'm done, you know. Even though she told herself she prepared for death. So the whole theme in this particular episode, for me anyway, was fight. It was fight, always fight back, no matter what, always fight, even when the odds are against you and everything's hopeless. So she's there, and she's basically gotten to that point where she's now finally, I mean, she's now kind of, she's been hit a few times, and she's not going to win, and she's finally come to the realization that she's like, you know, Eren, you know, she's talking to herself. She's like, Eren, you always told me to fight, you know, blah, blah, blah. She's like, I will, as soon as I'm dead. That's basically what she says. Like, I'm going to die, and then I'm going to fight, but I'm never going to be able to see you again. It's this big, very touching moment, really. And then all of a sudden, this other Titan comes around the corner, and it looks like it's gunning right for her, and now she knows she's screwed, right? Because there's one on each side of her coming at her. And you know, and it's kind of flashing back and forth between her and then Eren, and you see what she was, you know, Eren basically telling her to fight, you know. And then all of a sudden, this Titan, as it looks like it's going to go and crush her and step on her, kind of steps over her and dives into the other Titan. And it's really cool, because this looked just like it did in the manga, you know. It's just like this like still pose of it going, you know, and this really cool just rips this other one right across the face with a punch and just tears part of its jaw and face off, you know. It's great. And the action scene is just superbly done, in my opinion. I mean, he just goes and grabs this other Titan and just beats the shit out of it. I mean, and then winds up killing it and knows exactly where to go, you know, and exactly what to do when he attacks it. And you're like, okay, well, that's cool, you know, another aberrant Titan, I guess, or whatever you want to call it, abnormal Titan, you know. So at that moment, right around that time, Armin comes swinging in, sees Mikasa, and this is the whole thing I didn't get, is that Armin and Connie, like, should not have been like 5 minutes behind. I don't know if they didn't see where she went down, so they were like searching blocks around in the area and they couldn't find. I don't know, but it was several minutes in between what should have really been several seconds. Anyway, Armin swoops down and grabs Mikasa and gets her to safety to a roof. And while this is happening, we go and we see Jean's group and a couple of guys. One of them kind of goes in, you know, to take out this Titan. There's one actually that's ran out of gas, is what it was. And Jean's telling him, get out of there, get out of there. Then there's another guy that goes to go in, and he's like, no, don't go, don't go. Well, he goes and swoops in anyway, and he gets grabbed by another Titan. He gets eaten, the other one gets eaten. Jean's just sitting there basically like sweating and tears running down his face like, God, this is horrible. I don't want to be here. He's pretty much freezing up. Even though he's supposed to be the leader right now, he's freezing up and he doesn't know what to do. He's watching people die and he's thinking to himself, if I hadn't ordered them in there or if I'd ordered them back, they'd still be alive, blah, 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 right? But ultimately what it is it's showing, you know, just like I said, the horrors of war. And I mean, these people are fresh out of training, you know, and they're all, you know, whatever, man, teenagers, maybe early 20s. They've probably never experienced or seen anything like this before, and it's certainly very traumatic to some. So there's some like Armin, and now we see Jean that are just kind of freezing up in the face of danger, and then there's others that are just going like, hey, no, I'm gonna go save my buddy. I don't care if I die. So it takes us back then to the rooftop with Connie and Armin and of course Mikasa, and basically they're talking about it, and she's like, I don't know why that Titan seemed to, you know, it seemed to have like saved me. I mean, it basically went and fought this other Titan, and I thought it was dead. I had given up. It attacked this other one. You know, it seemed to know what it was doing. You know. Then they call out and they see that there's two 15-meter class Titans headed their way. They notice that one of them is the Rogue Titan that had earlier appeared to have saved Mikasa just a few minutes ago. And in a really cool kind of just really nicely done action scene, we see the Rogue Titan just kind of go, and I mean just like this cool Godzilla-like roar, which up until now we haven't seen the Titans really make any type of sounds or anything like that, and of course not really making much of an expression on their face. They're really kind of creepy. So the other Titan goes and roars back at him, and the Rogue Titan, you know, charges at him and just kind of goes in one fell swoop, just swipes his head completely off of this other Titan, which goes flying off blocks away into the top part of, and we see it from the perspective on the inside of the supply depot. We see some of those recruits or whatever, the supply team in there, and they just see this bloody head just face just mash up against and kind of crack some of the windows on this top, you know, floor of the supply depot. So very, very cool stuff. We then go and we see the Rogue Titan's hand, you know, had kind of got knocked off as when he knocked off the head, and we see it kind of the steam come out and it start to regenerate, because if you remember, unless you hit them in that spot in the back of their neck, they regenerate. We see the other Titan laying face down on the ground with no head, and as its head's about to start to regenerate, we see this Rogue Titan just going, just curb stomp him, you know. So a very, very cool scene, I think, and that's really how the how the episode ends. Right after that, there's some talk from Mikasa about, you know, she's kind of talking about how when she had seen it, and it seemed that it had the rage of humanity within it. So I really don't know what's going on with this Rogue Titan. I just know that we're kind of happy to have it. You know, that's the whole idea. You know, Armin, you know, had basically says, hey, listen, don't worry about it. It's not even coming towards us. You know, it's just let it do its thing. Let's worry about getting together with everybody else and trying to figure out how we can resupply at the supply depot, and then of course retreat over the walls. That's the end game, you know, without any more loss of life. So really looking forward to the next one. Let me know what you think, though, brothers and sisters, in the comments down below. The chapter question is going to be, what do you think of the Rogue Titan? I mean, do you think it's good? Do you think it's bad? Are you indifferent about it? I certainly, for one, believe that it's a good asset to have, but since you don't really know if the thing's going to turn on you, it's kind of like having a crazed or rabid dog or something like that. Who knows, right? Let me know what you think, though, in the comments down below. Feel free to hit the thumbs up, the like button if you think that I deserve it, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. We will look forward to catching you in the next episode, Nation.
Remember, brothers and sisters, to share, subscribe, spread the word of the nation to others, and of course, if you like watching the videos, watching them is always much appreciated. Have a nice day.